So I pretended to be the lady who was dead. I called up, and they're like, excuse me, but anytime we have an account, she's like, I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty sure that anytime it says the estate of somebody, that means that they've passed. How can you be the person? Click. I hung up, man. But it tipped me off that, oh, okay, they already know this person's dead. I called back at the phone center, go somewhere else. Now, here's where TLO comes into play. What does TLO tell you? Social Security. So when you go and it says, please enter your loan number, I don't know the loan number. But guess what I do know? It's a social. I can get authenticated by the social. Now, guys, this is a gray area here. I'm not advocating that you guys like commit like this fraud and like, you know, pretend to be somebody else. But in this particular situation, the house was going to the bank. She was dead. The children wanted the property. The trustee was a 70. How old is the guy? 70?
Almost 80.
Almost 80. An 80-year-old man who wanted nothing to do other than just to help his kids out. So I called up and I just said, hey, I'm the trustee. We're trying to close this thing. We've already opened escrow. What do I need to do to get a payoff on this property? Oh, no, yeah, no problem. Sure. Yeah, definitely. What do you need? Here's our fax number. Can you just please send it over? Oh, by the way, I don't know what the loan number is. Can you give that to me real quick? Sure, here it is. Boom. Gave all that information to the title company, and we were able to close. This deal would not have been closed if that wouldn't have happened. We would still be waiting for someone to call and figure out how to get authorization to get a payoff. We're trying to pay off the loan here. So
the bank wouldn't talk to the kids at all.
At all. So the real question is like, you know, who are you, like I'm, okay, so the question becomes like, oh, but Ryan, you impersonated somebody. That's damaging. You could hurt somebody. Who did I hurt? The bank got paid. Children got their funds back. It would have went to foreclosure and lost nothing. Yeah. So I mean, where's the crime? That's kind of where that's at.
So who were you the second time?
The trustee.
Oh.
I'm the they don't know who the trustee is. I'm the trustee in this property. They didn't disclose any information other than we will fax it to the title company, the payoff request. All it was. So sometimes you have to do, like Gary said, you have to do the title company's job. You have to get a payoff request. You have to move forward. And I mean, it says nothing about what you guys did. Why don't you tell them your story?
Well, there's too much for this little class.
We pretty much did the title company's job the whole title
Yeah.
company. They created so much chaos and just it was
Discord, problems.
yeah. None of them would call you back. You could call them 50 times and they would not call you back.
Tell them about the death certificate.
Oh, yeah. So they said.
Listen to this, guys. Listen to
So they
this.
said, well, we need a death certificate. Okay, so we go down. We try and get a death certificate.
We're in a sister county where she died at.
Yeah. So she
She died in another county, sister to the county where she had
for
her
us
house.
now.
So we go get the certificate where her house is at, and the county won't help us. No, you gotta go where she passed away. She didn't pass away here. Well, can you call up there and get a transfer? I said, no, can't do that for you. So you gotta go up there to take care of it. It's over an hour and a half away. Okay, so we're down to nothing in the bank. We got $20 to our name. Death certificate's gonna cost, what, $21 or something?
Yeah, 21 bucks.
Do we put gas in the car to get up there because it's an hour and a half away, or,
Ish.
yeah? Or how do we do it?
That's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
3 o'clock?
They close at 4.
You see the dilemma? They have no money in their account. What money they do have is going to cost to get the death certificate, but how are you going to get there if you have no gas?
Oh, title company's right down the road from the county.
Next door to it!
Yes, next door.
They couldn't go over there and get it. They said, well, if you go up there and get it and have it waiting on the counter, we'll walk over and get it, but that's all they can do for us.
Yeah.
So what do you guys decide to do?
So we overdraw our bank account, put gas in the car, run up there, write another check to get the death certificate, and walk it over to them.
Well, first they said, "Oh no, you're not family. You can't have the death certificate."
Yep.
Really?
So, public record.
Exactly.
No. Oh, and then they said, "Well, we close at 4, but you can't. You can only our windows only open until 2:30 or 3 o'clock." And we're in Visalia, an hour and a half away. We were like, "Oh my gosh!" And this was like Friday.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then the
The
family.
trustee had to go up and get the death certificate. Though.
Yeah.
The trustee had to go and get the death certificate.
So you the trustee.
Family entrusted us to do it, didn't they?
They sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the family is texting and calling us like all day long, like, "Oh my gosh, is this gonna close?" Because they had a court date.
On Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Yeah.
They were, the crazy aunt was trying to take the house from them,
Yeah.
even though she didn't have any.
No standing. It got kicked out, but we didn't know it was going to get kicked out. Yeah.
Because there was a will first, and then the trust.
Oh, there was a trust and the will was filed
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah.
Yeah.
We walk that thing into the office, give it to him at the recorder's office, the
Yeah.
title company. It still took another week and a half for him to close?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? The trustee made some phone calls to B of A. The trustee went inside and got the death certificate. So sometimes in this business, yeah, you have to, in order to get stuff, pushed through, become creative. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, and then Nick says to me, well, just because you have a date written on there, we don't have to close by that date.
Yeah.
He says, we can close whenever we want.
Yeah.
I know I was already.
Our contract,
Thank you.
in their eyes, means crap.
Yeah, he told us that.
We close when we want to close. Your contract has a date.
It's like,
We'll blow past that date because we're not ready to close. That was his attitude the entire time
Yeah.
we worked with him.
you interview them like before you hire them.
No, the buyer who we.
Yeah, sometimes the buyer picks a.
That's what happened.
choice of
Yeah.
Who you're working with, and if you want to get it done, you've got to do all the work.
You got to do that stuff, guys.
They act, as if.
They're above the law.
Well, you can turn around and file an action against them for.
Yeah. At this point, we would never use them again. We closed the deal though. But here's the thing: you guys took a leap of faith. They overdrew their account, not knowing if this was going to close or not because of the actions and the behavior of this title officer. But they said, "Forget it. We're going to do this anyway." And I mean, how much do you guys make? 10 grand.
Yeah, you don't let them stop. you.
No, man.
Deal, but, yeah, you try not to go back there, but you'll end up back there.
Yeah.
You'll end up because someone else on the other side will pick that person, and you end up dealing with them.
It just sucks. What were you going to say?
You have a $25,000 assignment fee, and they cost you that. Can you sue them for damages? How much is it going to cost you to take them to court for $25,000?
Well, they're insured. But you have to prove that they intentionally did it and how it happened. It was through neglect and whatnot. Yeah. At this point, like I said, we just took the bull by the horns and we ran with it. We made it happen
I would.
at Disneyland.
I would recommend journaling anybody new that you work with in escrow, just your conversations.
Just keeping track of everything. Yeah.
And then, if you start to have trouble, you can just show them the journal, and it helps.
Yeah.
Well, he ended up telling me.
That's it.
You have what?
It's a great idea.
Well, he ended up telling me that, he says, well, when I called, he says, well, our office manager, the manager of the whole place, he says, he's retiring tomorrow anyway, so he probably doesn't want to talk to you about it.
I didn't realize that. That's new to me.
Yeah, that's what he said. And then I called back,
Oh.
and he says, well, he retires tomorrow. He says, we're having a party today. They were having a party when we've been in there
Oh.
for him retiring the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't care.
No.
No, he just
So we blasted them on social media.
Is this some small fly-by-night?
Oh no.
this is a big
These are
one.
big companies.
Big, huge company. So we blasted them on social media without saying the name. We just said it was a title company in this city, and immediately, everybody knew who it was.
Huh.
And it had
They
a
all
lot
know.
of the same.
Everybody knows that.
And so they were the ones like, oh yeah, I know. And then like, his name is this is the company, and like they're going off like everyone else was like putting his name out there. I'm like, well, that wasn't us.
What company was it? You can tell us.
You can look at my social media. This will be recorded. I'm not
Why
gonna.
were you afraid of putting the name out there?
I didn't want to. Well, good question.
In California,
Very good question. Defamation of character, and what am I doing with my assignments of contract? I'm assigning these contracts, but if I start doing more than 7, I don't want to put a target on my back.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh, hey, what's going on, man? Ryan Nickel, I don't see you as a licensed agent, and you've closed how many transactions? Well, forget this title agent. Let's go after this fool here.
You know what? Can you?
And maybe that's just fear on my part, but that's it.
Good here. You had one time had said when I saw your posting that somebody at title company gave you crap about your assignment fee.
Yes, she did. She's a title agent who I've used almost exclusively. And she didn't give me crap about my assignment fee. It was a larger assignment fee. It was probably the largest one that I had done up until that point. And she goes, this is a lot of money. Is everyone okay with this? And I was using a brand new buyer. The guy that I was assigning it to was a new person I've never assigned to before. And my other guy that I assigned to before, he was a licensed agent, and she just said, well, because he's licensed, I'm not even going to question it. Because this guy, she's like, I don't know this guy, and our names are very similar, like almost identical. She goes, I need to run this one by. It went through. It was no problem at all. And I asked her about it when she was cutting the check for me. That was $18,500 is what that check was. So she cut the check for $18,500, and I asked her, hey, no, you said you had a little bit of a problem or a question about it. She goes, oh yeah, not a problem at all. I ran it through compliance, not a problem. Everything checked.
Why give me
She had never seen me do one.
that out?
No, not that up until that point, that was the largest. Yeah, I've had larger since, but up until that point, with a brand new person, and she just wanted to make sure that everything was on the up and up. It was nothing. It was nothing. Yeah. Well, it was my first true probate deal that we had a payoff with the state of $65,000 for Medi-Cal, and we had a bunch of other things involved. So it was a very complicated file that we sat on this file for almost 9 months.
Probates are something like 6 months and longer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this one was a long probate case. So.
So,
Yes.
trustee, they never ask names?
We
They never
were
ask, what's her
questioned
name?
by the kids.
Yeah, I get it. But did they ask your name?
No.
No,
No. Okay.
we're just
Trustee.
trustee for the state.
Trustee.
Yeah.
Like, okay, trustee. Stan.
Well, that was because the house was held in a trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. The crazy thing, guys, is the house would have went to foreclosure. This is the saddest part about it. If you let this is tough because it's fine lines, it's gray areas. It's because I don't want to give you the false impression that it's okay to go ahead and start impersonating all kinds of people all over the place. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if no one would have stepped in, this house would have been lost to foreclosure. Family would have been out, what, $70,000 that they would have had, their inheritance. Their mom died. It was a hit and run. She was in a coma. This family's been through enough trauma. The aunt, a crazy squirrely aunt, is coming and trying to steal the property in probate so she can tie it up even longer so it does go back to the bank because she doesn't want any of the kids to have her sister's house. No, crazy stuff. So, yeah, I could have said, oh, you know what, guys? It's right here. It's black and white. I cannot impersonate a trustee on a phone call. And so I made a decision to get thing done. I called, got the payoff request. It went straight to the title company. Title company paid off the bank. To me, like that's a no-brainer. I would do that again. I would do that again.
Okay, so
You're there to initially help this family who's gone through a disaster.
You guys get texts from them. What do they tell you?